The best PS4 games span multiple genres, from cinematic single-player adventure to spine-tingling horror games and frantic multiplayer shooters. There's something for everyone to enjoy on Sony's PlayStation 4 console. If you're looking for the top PS4 games, you've come to the right place. But with so much choice out there, not to mention quality, it can be difficult to determine the difference between what's simply a good PS4 game and which are must-haves. I can't help but be flooded by nostalgia looking back at all the fantastic adventures this console granted me. Because of this, I think it is the appropriate time to take a walk down memory lane and go over the best-selling PS4 games of all time. So let's get started. Red Dead Redemption was a widely anticipated game by the community, and it was delivered magnificently. It generated more than $725 million in sales on its opening sales across all available platforms. Praise was directed towards its graphics, story, open world, and characters. Red Dead Redemption 2 gathered a handful of accolades as well, including game. The gameplay is characterized by its stunning graphics and breathtaking visuals. Besides its diverse hunting, horseback riding, shootouts, and heist mechanisms, the game also incorporates elements similar to the Grand Theft Auto games, such as a bounty system that resembles the Wanted system as a direct response to crimes committed by players. Set in a fictionalized representation of Western and Southern United States, Red Dead Redemption 2 follows Arthur Morgan, an outlaw and member of the Van der Linde gang. While dealing with the decline of the Wild West and evading government forces and other adversaries, Arthur grants players an excellent opportunity. The game also has a widely popular multiplayer mode. It is only natural the 2018 Game of the Year is included as one of the highest-grossing PS4 games of all time. God of War is an action-adventure game developed by Santa Monica Studio and subsequently published by Sony Interactive Entertainment. Being the eighth installment of the God of War franchise, it innovates by being heavily influenced. The game once again stars Kratos, but along with him comes his son Atreus. Together, the two characters look to spread Atreus' mother's ashes at the highest peak of the Nine Realms while also fighting off and dealing with monsters and God of War received universal acclaim from games and critics alike, many praising its world design, narrative, characters, music, and overall experience. God of War doesn't just feel like the next step for the franchise, but for the entire video game industry. Phenomenal visuals, rewarding exploration, and a deep, nuanced combat system contribute to an epic adventure that should be experienced by every human on Earth. Santa Monica Studio is taking us all to Valhalla. Marvel's Spider-Man is an action-adventure game developed by Insomniac Games. Subsequently published by Sony Interactive Entertainment. Even before its release, the game gathered a great lot of attention from Marvel fanboys and gamers alike. The game is presented as a third-person perspective that follows Peter Parker through his civilian. With all the accolades rained upon God of War, there was a console exclusive that outsold it in 2018. Of course, it helps that the protagonist has a worldwide brand beyond video games. Marvel's Spider-Man comes in at 6th overall, selling 13.2 million copies. Marvel's Spider-Man received critical acclaim because of its characterization, web-swinging mechanics, narrative, combat style, and open-world style. It is currently considered one of the best superheroes ever made and one of PS4's top-selling games with ratings of mostly 9/10. This comes to no one's surprise. Naughty Dog had a second appearance on this list, but this time for a game that came out for and exclusively on the PlayStation 4. Uncharted 4, A Thief's End supposedly completed. The character arc of Nathan Drake after 4 games is the central protagonist. Nathan works alongside his longtime partner Victor Sullivan in the search of clues for Henry Avery's lost treasure. The game focuses on Drake coming out of retirement after his brother Sam, who he assumed was dead, comes back to convince Drake to find the treasure of Henry Avery because otherwise Sam would be killed. It is the highest-selling exclusive on the PS4. The final product made the almost 3-year-long wait well worth it. The game was a commercial and critical success, fans and critics alike praising the gameplay, emotional depth of characters, visuals, narrative and multiplayer alternatives. Similar to many titles in this list, the game proceeded to win a long list of accolades, including Game of the Year. Uncharted 4 is also the highest-selling Uncharted game in the The jewel of the crown in PS4 games belongs to no other than Grand Theft Auto 5. Everyone has played a GTA game in their lives despite its mature content. It is a game that simply appeals to gamers of all ages. Anyone who says they didn't mischievously play the GTA games in their early teen years is straight up lying. The game that came out before the release of the PlayStation 4, the remastered version of Grand Theft Auto 5 blew the doors off any other game released for the system. The game featured upgraded graphics as well as a first-person mode. This was the first game in the series where players could play as 3 protagonists instead of just one. While the single-player campaign was a big deal, the multiplayer mode, titled Grand Theft Auto Online, has become the main reason the game is still going today and is being ported to the PlayStation 5. Needless to say, the game was both a massive commercial and critical success, despite the controversies surrounding it. It is currently considered one of the best video games ever.
I got the files. I'll take them to Madrezzo and explain the human cost of this errand.
Oh, take it easy, man. Listen to me. We'll talk about that later. I want you to just drop off the files. I gotta get rid of this rifle, then we'll
These PS4 games broke selling records worldwide, and it is only natural, given the quality of gameplay they offered. Because of their unique style, engaging story, and incredible characters, each of these titles deserve their spot as top-selling. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.